Are you a very busy person that doesn't have time to play PSO2 every single day? Or maybe you just got sucked into a new game such as Genshin Impact and that kind of took all the free time out of your day and you haven't been playing PSO2 for the past week, past month, past year, and you feel like you're gonna fall behind? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you play on the global server, you're definitely not falling behind. Unless you decide not to play this game for 1 year, then I'll see you in New Genesis, where you definitely won't fall behind because that's basically a new game and we all start from scratch. Now, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily, so if you do play this game or if you're even interested about this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So for those who follow my social media, you guys may have known that I was unable to play PSO2 for 5 days, mainly because it was my father's birthday, so we flew to Shanghai to celebrate it with him there, and I had an ancient PC over there, which was running a Pentium 2 with like a floppy drive and a CD drive that couldn't even read DVDs, and I tried to install PSO2 on it. Unfortunately, PSO2 is a massive game. It's like 75 gigabytes downloaded off Steam, and that computer only had 128 gigabytes because it's an ancient relic from the past. And since I was only staying for 5 days, I was like, I'm not buying a new PC for this. I tried to look for a hard drive, but I was like, this PC probably can't even run this game. So I just gave up and I just didn't play PSO2. What I did do instead was play a ton of Genshin Impact as well as AFK Arena on my phone, mainly because, yeah, just played my phone games basically. But anyway, to the point that I want to make. So I had 5 days which I didn't touch this game. I came back to Shenzhen, I finally back home, back in my room, got my very powerful PC setup and all that, and I launched the game 5 days after. And I have not missed much. Sure, there was amazing events, so forth and so on, which I kind of missed several days, like the login events. I'm not going to be able to get 100 star gems, which is a little bit unfortunate, but in the big picture or the grand scale of things, it's not a big deal. You can see here I'm still sitting on 5,100 star gems, so 100 star gems, like meh, I'll make it later down the line. So as long as you have a macro view and you're thinking long term because you're going to play this game for a while and you're not just here for the short term, then you're going to be perfectly fine. If you miss an event or 2 events or 3 events, it's not a big deal. 1 week of not playing PSO2 is not going to kill you. You're going to come back, you're going to do your dailies, you're going to do your regular grind, and you're going to catch up very, very quickly. However, a lot of people talk to me about gear. And yes, I understand that a big selling point of PSO2 or any MMO is about character progression. So right now you can see over here that I'm currently a level 90 Braver and a level 90 Hunter because level 90 is the highest level that we currently have on the global servers. However, when we take a look at my gear, you can see right here that my units aren't anything special. They're actually very mediocre compared to all the armors you can get now. Like the Union set over here is probably like a C tier armor right now because there are so many better armors out there right now, but it's not a big deal. You don't need to have the best in slot armors right away. The thing about units or armors is augmenting them is quite a lengthy process and often is very, very expensive. So for most people, I recommend you guys to pick an armor that you like, augment it, and stick with it for a couple of months. However, with the pace that the global server is currently moving at, we're getting new units, new weapons every 2 weeks, but they're trying to push us through the story in order to catch up with the JP servers. And with this overload of content, you can work super duper hard, play 8 hours a game, or swipe your credit card like $200-300 every single week, and you might be able to hit best in slot units and best in slot weapons. But the thing is, that sense of accomplishment of, hey, I have the best weapon in the game right now, fully affixed, so forth and so on, is only going to last for about 2 to 3 weeks, because then a new unit or a new weapon will be introduced to the game, which is better than what you have. And then the grind continues again. And I don't recommend people to chase best in slot all the time, mainly because one, you're probably going to burn yourself out very, very quickly because of the insane amount of grinding and farming required to get the unit or the weapon that you actually want. And it's also going to be very, very expensive. You're going to burn through your Meseta extremely quickly if you're trying to fully augment it and pimp it out and make it best in slot. And so what I recommend most players, and what I do myself, is I sit on something that I'm very happy with right now. So you can see over here, I'm sitting on a Nemesis Cougar with 6 augments, and I'm happy with this, mainly because it allows me to accomplish what I want to do efficiently. It lets me kill things relatively quickly, allows me to blast through my dailies, allows me to do ultimate missions, allows me to do all the newest content relatively easily with this current weapon. Is it best in slot? No, it's far from best in slot, but it gets the job done. And so I've been sitting on this Nemesis Cougar for a very, very long time. You can say I've sit on this weapon for maybe 4 months, and I haven't upgraded it a single bit. And the reason for this is because I don't see the need of getting the next best in slot. Right now, I'm just holding on to my Meseta, hoarding up resources so that when the next weapon comes out that I actually want to invest in, which is going to be the Austere weapon or the Atlas EX, then I have the resources to do so. And another thing that I also do is I farm all of the weapons that I need. I avoid as much as possible from spending Meseta and buying any of the weapons from the player market. Mainly because you do need Meseta in order to upgrade your weapons, in order to do a lot of things. Meseta is very valuable and very flexible, and so I just hoard it and I just leave it there. I slowly accumulate it. Whatever I can farm, I'll do it myself. Obviously, there may be things that are very troublesome to farm, such as, you know, the Ares weapon, it's RNG. So maybe I'll run Ultimate Quest or the current Trick or Treat Urgent Quest, and maybe when that event ends and I still haven't gotten an Ares weapon and I'm tearing my hair out and I'm just frustrated with the game, then I might go spend my Meseta and buy an Ares katana in order to make the austere weapon. However, I also know for a fact that a lot of people are not going the austere weapon path or the Ophistius. I don't really know what terminology you guys want me to use in future videos. Do you guys just want me to call it the Ophistius, which is like the global name, or do you guys want me to continue calling it the austere, which is like the Japanese name? Let me know in the comment section below, because I really don't know what to call that weapon. But back to the topic at hand, I know for a fact that a lot of people will be going the Atlas EX simply because the Atlas EX weapon has better stats all across the board. However, that also means that if you're going the Ophistius weapon path, things are going to be a lot cheaper. So what you could do, and what I personally am doing for my ults, is I will be going the Ophistius weapon path for my ult. My main character over here, because I am a content creator, I will be using the Atlas EX weapon, mainly because I want to do a comparison with the two weapons. However, I'm like 99% sure that the Atlas EX weapon is going to be better than the Ophistius weapon. However, I still feel like the Ophistius weapon will have its own niche use. Especially for bravers, like if you want to play like an absolute monkey, I feel like the Ophistius weapon would actually be very good because you're just super tanky and like nothing can ever kill you. So I feel like that would be a great selling point, but we'll see. When I get that weapon, I definitely will be testing it out. But as I was saying, once that video comes out, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Atlas EX weapon is better, and they're going to go for that weapon. So the materials to make that weapon may increase in price, may be more expensive, so forth and so on. But because of that, not many people are going to go the Ophistius weapon route, so the material prices for the Ophistius weapons may be cheaper or may go down. And thus, you may want to go the Ophistius weapon route and stick with that weapon until the next big upgrade comes up, which is probably going to be Lightstream. And when Lightstream comes up, then you can just do a huge upgrade from your Ophistius weapon directly to the Lightstream. Mainly because I feel like there's gonna be at least 2 to 3 months gap between the Ophistius weapon and Lightstream. So with that logic, you're basically doing a big upgrade between your units and your weapons every 3 to 4 months. And that way you have time to make Meseta, time to farm up all the materials you need, and you're not scrambling and panicking about like, oh my gosh, I need to farm this for 5 hours a day because I need XYZ, so forth and so on. And you can just kind of play it really, really relaxed. Like my personal view of a casual player in PSO2 is someone that logs onto the game, does their dailies, and maybe a couple urgent quests, and probably logs off. So they're playing the game for about 30 minutes to an hour every single day. And that's my view of a casual player. And if you are a casual player, or if you do fit in that category, then there's no way you're going to be able to get all the best in slot weapons every 2 weeks, because you're not going to be able to farm up all the materials you need and all the Meseta you need to do all these upgrades, so forth and so on. And so just take it easy. What's the rush? You're not really competing with anyone in PvP because PvP is equalized anyway. So there's no real rush to get best in slot in anything. So you're not really falling behind. Like, there's a lot of people in my alliance which are kind of semi-leeches. There's like a running joke that a lot of people are spending all of their Meseta and all of their resources on cosmetics, and they're like, oh, Kero's gonna carry us. So like sometimes when we do the 4-man dragon, I'm like smashing my head against the keyboard because everyone does like peanut damage and I'm the only one doing normal damage. And yeah, it takes a while to kill the dragon, but it's fine. It's honestly fine. As long as it's a learning experience and people are learning, oh, there are mechanics in these boss fights, how to do the mechanics, so forth and so on, I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you are a leech, please be considerate and understand that other people are trying to beat the content, so don't try to intentionally ruin their fun, okay? Like, I'm an exception because I know these are my alliance members and they're just trolling me, so it's perfectly fine because I understand that they love to troll me. But if you're playing with random people, please be considerate and don't be a dick. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
TLDR